bottom of the block where we really gang, where we don't never speak a word, we just let it bang. That's life up in the vital where we could never hang. It's that before dishonor, swear to God I'll never rank. And boy, I'll never break, I'm built for this just like a tank. You diss me once, homie, you won't get another chance. And I won't even speak a word, I'll just let it blast. I put that on the vital, homie, that I'm down to smash. And you come and test the water, see if it don't crack. And real G's never switch up, never take the stand. A real G keeps it solid, never rolls with rats. I'm true to the code, homie, never looking back. And ain't no dirt up in my name, homie, those are facts. I keep it G, homie, I don't never have to act. Ain't nothing like these suckers on the net that's spitting cats. Boosting up their name for the fame is considered trash. The program, you already knew on where I stand. With the homies posted in the vital daily packing straps. Boy, la vida loca, it be crazy in my habitat. That before dishonor is my code and ain't no turning back. That before dishonor is my code and ain't no turning back.
G-File.
Alright, now as we make our way down the Inland Empire, we have another area that's roughly more of the nicer part that sometimes people get it confused, think that just because it looks nice that there's possibly that cannot be no gangs. But like I said, gangs, they could coexist anywhere, and Upland is no different. Right here in the Inland Empire, Upland has several neighborhoods, but we're gonna start off with one of the originators, one of the old school ones, and out of the three, I would say probably the largest, which is Upland Los Olivos, which is located right there in Los Olivos, on the street, in those apartments. Is where you can find them. Now the neighborhood stretches from what's Campus Avenue all the way to East 14th Street. And East 14th Street, I would have to say all the way to Grove Avenue. From Grove Avenue, I would have to say all the way to where the freeway's at. It's what's considered the neighborhood. So throughout 13th Avenue, Alta Avenue, Crawford, all of that. All of that is what's considered the neighborhood. You know what I mean? Los Olivos is probably the most recognized one. That ULO, Tres neighborhood. Like I said, there's several neighborhoods. Right here, but the Olive neighborhoods seem to get along. There's no tension between them due to the fact that they do go at it with the Cucamonga neighborhoods. Since Cucamonga's, literally right there, they're neighbors. So there's a lot of conflicts between, those groups. But Los Olivos is, roughly large. I was told more than 150 members. So they do have pretty strong presence right here, even though the area's like gentrified a little bit, and but you can still find them in those apartments, handling business in those units, and doing their thing and putting theirs on the map. You know what I mean? These guys ain't no suckers, homie. They do handle business. You know what I mean? And those are facts. But that's what's up with Upland Los Olivos right there. And now another neighborhood that we have right here in Upland, this is another one of the old school and large ones that definitely puts in work. I was told, and from the reports that I read, law enforcement said that this is the most, one of the most notorious gangs within this area. They made the news, headlines, for a few 187s. So these guys are with the business, homie, and they're literally right next to Los Olivos too. You know what I mean? The only thing that separates them is just the freeway, because these guys are also on Campus and Arrow Highway, from Arrow Highway all the way to Grove, and on the opposite end of the freeway. So from the opposite end of Los Olivos, that's where you can find them. So throughout 11th Street, throughout Mesa, throughout Hospital Parkway, 10th, 11th, 9th, all of that. Also through San Bernardino Road, by where the park's at, by the Upland Memorial Park, is where you can find the Ghost Town. That's what's known as the Ghost Town. This area, you know what I mean? And these guys handle business, that UGT, or you just see a GT, Ghost Town, and no relationship with any of the other Ghost Town neighborhoods. It's another common theme that's going to be used here a lot. So it has no relationship to the rest of the Ghost Town gangs. They on their own. And like I said, it seems like the Upland gangs seem to be cool with each other and going at it with the Cucamonga gangs, because there's heavy tensions between them and the Cucamonga neighborhoods. But Upland Ghost Town, handling business, one of the deep ones, one of the originators, old school right here. These gangs have been around since the 70s and continue to represent theirs and put theirs on the map. But that's what's up with the Upland Ghost Town right there. And here we have another neighborhood that people sometimes getting confused and think that this is not a real neighborhood, but I assure you it is. It's Upland 9th Street or Calle 9. It's mostly seen the Spanish term than the English term, but you can see either way, Upland 9th Street or Calle 9. That's what that means. It means, the Upland 9th Street gang and their territory is what's Campus and Edro Highway on the opposite end of Ghost Town, and all the way to, I would have to say their neighborhood stretches all the way to Grove Avenue, and from Grove Avenue all the way to 8th. So that's where you can find Upland 9th throughout 9th Street, throughout the Oak Apartmentplex, and throughout all those areas, you know what I mean, and back streets, throughout 11th Avenue, throughout 10th, 9th, 8th, Washington Boulevard, and all those back streets, from Bowen to Canfee Street to 14th Street, is all of that is what's considered their neighborhood. And this one's the smallest out of the Upland neighborhoods. Well, there's another gang called Upland Outlaws, but they're not recognized as a neighborhood, more as a club. You know what I mean? So not like a gang like that. So you do have the Upland Outlaws, but they don't really count. So I would consider 9th Street to be the smallest out of the three Uplands. But they are active, do have youngsters, do be representing, and these guys ain't no chumps, they ain't no suckers. They may not be as old as like Los Olivos or Ghost Town, but hey, that don't mean nothing. These guys do have their riders, do handle business, and continue to represent right there for the Calle 9, and putting their rider up on the map right there. And for those who are in disbelief, yes, Cucamonga does have gangs, despite what the movie Next Friday made it betray, the area, nice, it does have neighborhoods, but only one is bred and born out of Cucamonga, which is this one, the originators, the one that law enforcement says the most notorious gang within this area, the largest with more than 300 members, making newspapers several times, making news several times, been hit with the gang injunction, been hit with sweeps. Law enforcement has tried everything to combat this neighborhood. It is recognized as one of the neighborhoods that gives law enforcement a hard time within the Inland Empire, from what the reports say. You know what I mean? They've been fighting this neighborhood for a long time already, and yet they're still up and continue to represent theirs, which is the Cucamonga Kings. Cucamonga Kings neighborhood is right there on Archibald Avenue, all the way to Arrow Route, and from Arrow Route, I would have to say their neighborhood extends all the way to Marine Avenue, from Marine Avenue all the way to Humboldt Avenue. So everything that's in the middle, by Old Town Park, is where you can find them. You could also find them by the Cucamonga Elementary, by the middle school, throughout the whole area of Cucamonga, right here on Ferrum Boulevard, Main Street, all those back ends is where you can find the Cucamonga Kings. You know what I mean? These guys are definitely with the business, notorious, handle theirs, the originators, because they are straight out of this, this area. You see the graffiti up, so they still active. They get it on and popping, homie. These guys have riders, like I said, don't ever let, the area, deceive you, or what you see in movies and stuff like that. They don't play right here in Cucamonga, homie. They catch you slipping, that's it. They pop the clip in, body ends up missing. You already know, homie. It ain't no joke. So Cucamonga Kings definitely right there representing and putting theirs on the map. And here we have the next neighborhood, which is right here in Cucamonga, but is not. It doesn't come out of this area. They migrated here from Paramount, which is Cucamonga Dog Patch. Cucamonga Dog Patch is the same one as the one in Paramount, Downey area. You know what I mean? This is their other location, which is a Cucamonga Dog Patch. CDP is how you see it up. You know what I mean? For Cucamonga, and their neighborhood, it's really close to the Upland neighborhoods. That's why there's heavy conflict between them and the Upland neighborhood sets, because they stay really close right there, literally on the opposite end of Grove Avenue is their territory. So from Grove Avenue to where the freeway's at, from where the freeway's at, I would have to say all the way to 8th Street, from 8th Street all the way to Baker Avenue. So everything in the middle is their neighborhood. What's Arrow Route spreads out through right there, what's Common Street, Edwin, Selena, 9th Street, all of that is, where you can find the Cucamonga Dog Patch. And these guys are just like their counterparts in the other area. They're notorious. They have numbers because it's all Dog Patch in itself is an old neighborhood, but they have been right here in Cucamonga since the 70s. Because Dog Patch is an old school neighborhood, and like I said, their homies could just always drive over there, back them up, back and forth. So it's a much larger neighborhood as a whole. But right here, I was told that they're roughly about more than 60 members within the area of Cucamonga, and represent theirs. You know what I mean? Proud to be from this area. Hold it down and planted their flag, and continue to represent right there. Even though they come from the other area, they made this place their home as well, and made a reputation for themselves. You know what I mean? They ain't no suckers, but that's what's up with the Cucamonga Dog Patch, representing for theirs and putting theirs on the map.